That's 2 times. Y'all know the vibes, right?
Ooh la la, we
She go.
Ooh la la,
We go.
Ooh la la, we
They go.
Ooh la la, we
Okay.
Ooh la la, we
Okay.
Ooh la la, we
If this was a runway, I'd be walking down right now. Like, you know what I mean? When the show open up, like looking for Ams, like I lost a friend. Hop out of the bed, like where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. POPAVIST. POPAVIST TV. That's my show. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here, one more again. So if it's your first time, thank you. Come on in. Over here, we like to deal with sports, hip-hop, entertainment, whatever we feel like doing. You know what I mean? Popavisms 101 and motivation. If that sound like something you can rock with, then before you exit and hit stage left, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and smash that notification bell. So when I upload the videos, you get alerted. Yeah, you get alerted when I upload the videos. And if it's not your first time, you already know how I do over here. You already know how I start the show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. We in the end game. And we in the end game, people, because, you know, on some Days of Future Past type vibes, the X-Men movie, or the hip-hop shit that I be talking about on the channel. Yeah, sports, hip-hop, interviews, Popavisms 101. Jenny from the block has, you know what I mean? Not that she hasn't been relevant, so I ain't really trying to, I'm not smashing on her like that. She been popping since, you know what I mean? She was dancing on In Living Color, you know what I mean? And even now, you know, getting back with Ben Affleck and somehow just staying relevant for whatever it is. And I'm a fan, definitely, of the, you know, of the multiple, you know, flicks she done put out. But as y'all have heard, because I'm kind of late with it, you know what I mean? She recently came out, talked about her Money Train days, you know, her first big gig with Wesley Snipes. His movie, pretty much, him and Woody, you know what I mean? White Man Can't Jump. And you know, she said her first sex scene and, you know, how it all transpired, looking back, 2020 hindsight. You know, she painted herself, I won't say as a victim, it's just like, you know, if I knew more and if I wasn't naive and woo, 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 and and, you know, Wesley Snipes is, you know, shit wasn't really written in the movie, then popped halfway through, they kind of threw it in, and, you know, ultimately they did the sex scene, and, you know, it came across pretty authentic to me at the time, you know, watching it like y'all as a fan, if you've seen the movie. And then you fast forward now, all these years later, you say, damn, she coming out on some shit like that? Like, for what? And then I seen one little quote, she was like, well, you know, he's not doing too good now, so that's how karma works. And it's like, damn, you really kind of going hard. And he responded without kind of like even really responding. He just pretty much was like, you know, it was her first scene and, you know, we had a job to do. He had a job to do, make her feel comfortable. The directors, the writers, etc. Y'all know, you know, a lot of shit go into, you know, movies and even, you know, some of our favorite series now, you know what I mean, with the writers and executive writers and creators and the producers and all these writers. So it's like you got a whole shitload of people you could be pointing the finger at or even attempting to look at with the side eye. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who writing this shit? What type of script is this? And, you know, I be in the comments, you know what I mean, checking the temperature, seeing what people really think about the issues, you know, compare with my own to see if I'm in the line with the go along, get along, or but I have my own thoughts, is it unique, or just how I view it, you know what I mean, based off my experiences and how I see shit. And for the most part, people was like, yeah, remember that Jamie Foxx shit? When he went on, you know what I mean, the Breakfast Club, and he was like, yeah, you know, before it was J-Lo, was Hey Ho. Like, you know what I mean? Back in Living Color days, you know what I mean? And rest in peace, you know what I mean? Heavy D, you know what I mean? Mal V, stand up, like, you know what I mean? When he put his spin on it, you know what I mean? That shit was really rocking, you know what I mean? He made the theme music rock, you know what I mean? Besides them putting all the color and all that shit, that was super fly too. And obviously mad talented people came from there, even the dancers, right? But he was like, she was doing her little 1-2s back then, you know what I mean? And, you know, so you look at the history, you say, kind of like really played herself, you know what I mean? Like, even if she felt that way, not saying she shouldn't live in her truth or speak out, you know what I mean? Nobody should be forced to do something they don't want to do. But when you know, willingly go to an audition called Gag Queens, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a little hard for you to convince people after you do said movie, you know what I mean, that you was forced to do it, or you felt uncomfortable, or you didn't really want to drink after you threw up all this nasty shit. Like, shit is disgusting and gross. I'm sure y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm being funny, but I'm not. Shout outs to the 3 chicks in the kitchen, or 3 girls in the kitchen, or some shit like that. But they was talking about it, you know what I mean? Like, you reading the script like, oh, you're going to do what? Like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, shit. How much y'all paying? Like, because that's really what the give and exchange is about when it comes to certain gigs, people that are willing to do certain things for that paper. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just not doing anything. Not only is sold not for sale, you know, as famously quoted nowadays, I'm just not doing certain shit. Like, I don't care how much chicken dinners you start putting on the table. Like, the purple tape is like, don't try to play me like I got a flower pot head. Like, 1 for you, 1 for me. 2 for you, 1, 2 for me. Like, you don't play me like I got a fucking flower pot head. I'ma smack flames out you. Shout outs to the Ray and Ghost, purple tape, you know what I mean? These was the birthday joints right here. Keisha, good looking. But you can't even pay me to do certain things, you know what I mean? So when you sign up for that, don't swing back later on the back line for the people like, yeah, you know, I feel some type of way. And it's like, damn, you signed a contract? Like, what are you talking about? So, you know, I'm glad he didn't really go back and forth with her. And he taking the high road. Obviously, he's trying to make his comeback and, you know, get over his little mishaps, you know what I mean, that is of Hollywood, you know what I mean, I should have dragged you down and, you know, make some other shit out of you. But I just thought it was real interesting. To me, a lot of people clowning her, you know, she just, to me, looked bad. It's like it's a reach. And again, even if it's not, he wasn't the only person, you know, he was a co-actor with you. He was starring in the movie with you. It's not like he wrote the script, you know what I'm saying? And she like, yeah, you know, he tried to, you know, get a little, you know, real with the situation outside of the, you know, the workplace. And, you know, you can't knock him for that. She's a beautiful woman, you know, back then and even now. She kept her looks up, you know what I mean? Despite whatever, you know, people do in Hollywood to stay looking their best. I don't know about all that, but she looked good then. She looked good now still for her age. So no hate there, you know, it is what it is, but you can't knock him for saying we got good chemistry on film, you know, maybe in the real life. Plus I heard a little something on the back line. You know, it is what it is. He ain't put no mollies in her champagne and she ain't know it, like he ain't violated. And then, you know, she said she had the, you know, the boyfriend, you know, 2 kids back then and 25. I don't know, J-Lo, like, you know, you turned out pretty you know, if you ask me. Bringing this shit up 21 years later or whatever, how many years later it is, and try to paint him as the bad guy, it just look a little funny to me. But let's get to this other shit, you know what I mean? Like, we also in the end game, Tony, There Was No Other Way. You know, Travis Scott, you know what I mean? He was in the news a lot. You know, he gonna be in the news for a while. Like, you know what I mean? If the commercial with Derrick Henry is running on the treadmill and they're like, yo, bro, you gonna be a minute? He like, yeah, I'm gonna be a minute. Like, it's gonna be a long day. And I'm being funny with that one, and I'm just being funny because that commercial is funny. But first of all, definitely rest in peace. And, you know, condolences, obviously, to all of the families that's affected, people that lost their lives and people that's injured, still going through it. Like, it's a messy, crazy crazy situation. It's an unfortunate situation. And, you know, my take on it, you know, after obviously condolences and prayers to them for the people that's generally, you know, was affected, you know what I mean? By being there, being injured psychologically, mentally now, emotionally, even though some people going to play the game, and that's what we're going to, you know, try to dive into, because it's like, who's responsible for what happened? You know what I mean? Is Travis Scott responsible? Are the Patreons who came, you know, paid their hard-earned money to come to a concert, are they responsible? Are the, you know, the people behind the scenes to help put the concert together? Now, Travis Scott, they saying this is like the 3rd year or whatever since he done this joint. You know what I mean? I think he did the first one in 2018. And they saying he made a couple dollars off this shit. Like, apparently he's not just some rapper, you know what I mean, just rapping out there rapping. He got a couple of little ventures, and obviously starting this Astro festival 3 years ago, he definitely made it real profitable. But unfortunately, he about to take a big hit. If not, you know, I don't think no time is going to really come. Some of the footage that I seen is probably like some of the same footage y'all seen, where people was you know, saying help, and, you know, the people surging forward. Now, I couldn't really hear him saying anything like to prompt them to do that. So I don't know why they would do that. Like, the thing is, you know, when you show people on the gate being smashed and just being crushed, some people, and even being, you know, stampeded. I think it's even a 9-year-old boy, you know what I mean, that was you know, critically injured. He's on life support now. Father got to deal with it out there, you know. So it's just real trash. I'm saying, damn, you know what I mean? I seen on the other channels, you know, they're like it's a demonic, you know, type of, you know, festival, and, you know, that's the type of energy that he put out. And then it is a quote from Travis Scott, I think a few years back, unfortunately, saying like, you know, somebody passed out, or it's probably going to be a nigga die. They're going to be a hero dying at his concert. And, you know, whether he was being funny, playing, but he wasn't caught up in the hype where, you know, we live in a society where, you know, people value people of, you know, a certain status, or they look up to them, the Michael Jackson effect, the Prince effect, where you just falling out. Me personally, on some Ice Cube shit, like, shake my hand, make sure it's a firm shake, say what's up, Ice Cube, and then break. Because if you standing loud and clear, like, I'm going to tell you, get off my dick, nigga, tell your bitch to come here. And I really don't want these rappers entertain nobody doing that shit to me. You know, I've been in a few places where they, you know, be at, having fun like them, you know what I mean, enjoying the festivities. So me personally, I never would probably, you know, play that role and falling out, trying to rush to the stage. You know what I mean? Even as a youth, I wasn't on it like that. Like, you know, you'd be shocked to see some people, but being from Harlem and being from the block I was from, a lot of celebrities did pull up, and it's, you know, it's just that type of energy and environment, you know what I mean, that vibe back then. So you don't really be shocked in the maids, and that's why I quote Biz Mahal, rest in peace, because he used to come to the block. Shout outs to Fresh, you know what I mean? But, you know, I could see maybe 14, 15, you know, people wanting to rush, but if you all the way in the back, you're not getting to the front. Like, this is not an Onyx concert, you bum. I just don't really know what started this surge, or why so many people, you know, because the people in the back is pushing. They pushing the people forward, and it's like a, you know, it's an inertia. It's like when you're on a train and you're going back and forth, and then when it stops, you still go like this. It's the people in the back that's, you know, you push and you pushing. Everybody's moving forward. So it's like, are the people in the back the culprits? Why did they run? Did he say, yo, rush to the stage? Then they said one officer was pricked in the neck on some, you know what I mean, some high-tech spy shit, drugged them, had to be revived on some Call of Duty shit. Like, if they ain't do it right away, you know, the lifeline be going. If you don't do it right away, then your nigga is dead. Like, you know what I mean? So you got to do it quick. And I'm being funny, but I'm not being funny. It's like, so what's going on at this concert? You know what I mean? Like, then again, it's the 3rd year. Obviously, the pandemic year shut it down, and it wasn't, even though they're saying he sold out. So now, obviously, it's a class action suit against him and Drake. And, you know, it's a big, and Live Nation, you know, and apparently there's like 150 people, and that list is going to grow because a lot of people was going to say they dealing with mental anguish and, you know, large crowds, and not saying that they going to be gaffling the system. Some will, I'm sure, because it's dollar signs, and some really will experience can't be around certain crowds no more because of an incident like this. You get shell shocked, you get traumatized, you know what I mean? And so there's that. But, you know, to the other channels with the sacrifice, and they was bringing up Diddy run the city with the 8 people. Well, now it's 9 people now, unfortunately. And, you know, for the people that's injured and that's critical, like the young man, I believe his name is Ursay, you know what I mean? He's on life support. The father is, you know, left to figure it out and put the pieces together. He may have to take him off life support, you know what I'm saying? And if that ever happens to you, God forbid, but I know a lot of y'all don't really think about when you out of here, like fly video, record deal, out of here, your Mercedes-Benz and Range Rover, your Tesla, that shit is out of here, you know what I mean? A lot of us don't. So you don't got no medical proxy. You don't got nobody, you know, if you're young and you're not married, or, you know what I mean? Maybe your mom's would do it. She'll have to say, nah, pull the plug. Just something to think about. Life insurance as well, you know what I mean? But you got to say, more people are going to come out. Is it a sacrifice? What are you sacrificing? And I get it with the whole, you know what I mean? We talk about these things, and I'm in the streets, you know what I mean? YouTube, that is, watching these videos, just like a lot of y'all. What's true, what's not true. I'm always looking with the side eye, you know what I mean? I'm not shocked and amazed a lot. But are you sacrificing the bread as well? Because he probably going to lose a lot of money. You know what I mean? I don't see no time. I mean, a lot of times when you know, they say he made what 63 or 53 million off just those 3 years. You know what I mean? The concert alone. And 1 year, mind you, it was closed down because of the pandemic. So caking off, and that's not even counting this year, even though, you know what I mean, the tragedy happened. So he's saying the right things. He came out, you know what I mean? Obviously, he's addressing, you know, the situation head on, saying if you need help, and even mental services. I hear he's gonna pay for the funerals. That's, you know, that's definitely admirable, you know what I mean? And, you know, he should do that, you know what I mean? He has the means to. But again, you know, he's saying when he was on stage, he was oblivious. So is he really, you know, liable? You know what I mean? Even though it is his concert. He didn't tell the people in the back to rush, or maybe somebody sing something and screamed or ran, and then they ran. And then, you know, the thing where I would say that he could be culpable just from the, you know, looking at it from how I'm looking at it. They say he stopped at one point. It's video with him saying, you know, there's an ambulance here. Oh, shit. One person passed out. So if you stopping the show, when even a lady came on stage, I guess to the light crew, she's standing there with her arms out like, yo, please, shut this shit down. Like, it's a lot of stuff crazy happening in the crowd. And then the show still goes on for 40 minutes and y'all turning up crazy. I don't know. This is definitely a crazy one. Whether it's sacrifices or not, that's I don't know about all that. But I will say, people don't work hard for their bread just to throw it away on some incidents, you know, some crazy shit like this. There's other ways to sacrifice and get your kill and your bloodthirst. If that's what you into, then doing it on some unexpected, and, you know, now you're about to lose 100 million. And, you know, money is money, so you always could get it back if you made it the first time. I do believe that. You know what I mean? Shit goes up, shit go down. As long as you stay the same, it'll come back around. Like, hold, all right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, should have come back around. So you definitely could get some more bread. You know what I mean? Again, inshallah. But the bad press, and, you know, again, who knows how many more people could end up being dead, or just, you know, having long-term physical injuries because of what took place at a concert. Will it be more concerts? You know what I mean? What's the last concert you've been to? You know what I mean? Like, one, like you said, 9 years old. I don't know if taking a 9-year-old to see Travis Scott. I don't know. You know what I mean? And you hate to be critical of people when, you know, death happens and life is lost at the immediate. You know what I mean? You want to kind of have, you know, sensitivity. And I do. I never try to disrespect the dead at all. In fact, I'm not about that. You know what I mean? Utmost respect when it comes to that, as you should. But, you know, you do have to act. What's it like when, you know, when a lady get killed and it's like, damn, you was You pregnant, but you with the next nigga, and you ain't even had a baby yet, so the nigga is crazy and deranged. He come do some crazy, and you be thinking, damn, like you couldn't make no better decisions. And obviously, it's always in hindsight be 2020 after shit is said and done and the game is won. And it's like, yeah, you the loser, you the winner. You know what I mean? Chicken dinners. It's always easy to, you know, to put yourself in the after, you know what I mean? But prior to it happening, you just say, I don't know, I think the last concert I've been to answer the question might have been the Mary J. and Hove joint. I think, you know what I mean? Madison Square, that might have been the last one. But you already know what it is. It's your boy, POPAVIST. You was just tuned in, POPAVIST TV. That's the show. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, so we don't really got no set format over here. We do what we want, and that's why you tuned in. We authentic, that feeling back up in here as we always is. One more again. Yeah, kid.